Hi there, Ryan from 910. Another quick video where we're going to deconstruct one of our logos. Last week we did Nighthawk Year-Round Adventure Park. We deconstructed that logo and showed that there was a lot of hidden meaning and a lot of metaphor that was meaningful both to the internal stakeholders and as well as their target market as they positioned within the community. So this week we're going to do a deconstruction of the logo for the Academy Sports School. So the Academy Sports School is just that. It's a sports school, and what's unique about sports schools is that they're quite different from the traditional academic model. They infuse sport as a key part of the learning. And by infusing sport, there's something that they gain. There's something different about the model. Now, what we wanted to do as we were working with the organization, we wanted to create a logo that was meaningful both to internal stakeholders and to the external stakeholders, their target audience, which predominantly would be parents that are looking to potentially put their children in sports school. And so what is it about the logo that's going to help reinforce some of the benefits of a sports school? So let's jump into it. So the first thing, I just wanted to show you the variations of the logo. So of course, when 910 creates logos, we create logos in all of the various color formats: full color for light, full color for dark. We do the grayscale, we do black and white, and we also prepare the logo in multiple orientations. So what you're looking at right now is called stack, but it's also very common to include versions of the logo that are horizontal. We, of course, prepare these in all of the file formats that professional vendors will use, and we make sure that they're all available, and quite often we'll actually isolate out a third orientation, which would be the symbol or the icon, in this case, the triangle. And the triangle is actually where all of the hidden meaning is as well. Although there's certainly, through the use of font, quite often there's lots of tone or feeling or emotion that's set in place by the choice of fonts, and sometimes there's multiple fonts. But in this specific logo, we really played around with the shape of the triangular something. So before we get into that, just to show that we also document the very specific colors, and we provide all of the technical color codes, again, that professional vendors will use so they can get exact matching when they're working with the logo. So let's just hover on the logo for a moment, and when you look at this, what is it that you might see? And I want you to try to be creative here in your mind and look into it. Is there anything that you see, some hidden meaning? Are there shapes? Is there motion? Were you trying to imply something by the shape of that symbol up top here? And so let's deconstruct that. So the first thing I want to sort of highlight is that the shape is obviously the shape of a mountain. Well, maybe it's not obvious, but now that you see it, you can't unsee it. And so what is it about mountains? Well, if you've heard the saying, why climb the mountain? Because it's there. And so it's this idea, it's this challenge, it's this aspirational goal, it's this point on the horizon, on the mountain that everyone can agree to. It's the apex, it's the point of destination. And it's a challenge, not everyone can do it, not everyone will make it there. And many people, as they're climbing the mountain, they don't quite make it. And quite often you hear these heroic tales of someone only making it to the mountain on their second, their third, their fourth attempt. And there's so much within mythology and within just society, there's something about a mountain ascending to the peak. So really what we're saying here in the shape of the mountain is all about ascension. And when you're thinking about your child, putting them in a school and in a sports school where it's going to challenge them to ascend and to do it in a different model through this sport academic, there's quite a bit there. And of course, climbing a mountain is an athletic feat as well, so it ties over nicely there for an academic school. So what is another hidden meaning you might see? So let's go to the next one. So of course, it's a sports school, heavy on the academic. So here we see the turning pages of a book. So that also represents motion. There's motion there in the logo. The pages are being turned. So that's progress forward. It's a journey through education. It's this idea that the students, your children will actually be advancing through their academic pursuits. As they're climbing the mountain, they're also being educated along the way. So the turning pages of the book is very much underpinning the academic journey there. And then we also have over here, I'll just go to the side, many schools will have mascots. I can't recall from memory if their mascot was a bear or a wolf, but here we have abstractly as well the shapes of a claw. And so, as we pointed out with Nighthawk on the last video, sometimes there's hidden meaning from the use of the shapes or the negative space or the colors, where it's very obvious, it's very explicit, and sometimes it's a little bit more abstract. And it's not as though that we expect people to see this in the market and to immediately recognize the shape of the claws, but once you do see it, once it's been revealed to you, it has meaning. It maybe engenders some pride, and it's this thing that you can't forget once you see it. And so there's many famous examples of that with logos, and we'll probably do that in another video. So let's go to the fourth one, and actually there's a fifth one I'll end with, and it's a bit of a surprise, but it's probably maybe the most obvious one. So the fourth one, what is it? What is the other thing that we might have done with this logo? So similar to the way we use the shapes in the motion, whereas in the top right it's the turning pages of a book, in the bottom right it also represents sail, like a sailboat. And this idea that with the right tools, with the right confidence, with the right training, you can set your sails to the trade winds and they will take you wherever you want to go. It's this permission, it's this license to go boldly adventure throughout the world. And with the training, with the structure of this sports school, you'll have everything you need to set your sails to the trade winds and to go off and adventure confidently. And the world is your oyster, so to speak. So we are creating bold adventurers, those people who have, through their education and through their training, have the confidence to go explore the world. Now, the last one I wanted to showcase was really just this triangular shape. Of course, this school is called the Academy. The letter A is the triangular shape, and that's sort of represented in the mountain as well. So I always like to ask the question, when you think of your own company and your logo, do you have hidden meaning? Is there meaning? It's not always explicit. Sometimes it's implicit. Sometimes it's the use of colors or a specific font, or it's a shape that has double meaning. Sometimes the words have a double entendre where they can mean two things at once. Sometimes they reinforce each other, or they oppose each other to create some sort of dual meaning. And there's so many great things that you can do with logos as well. And then, of course, as you stack on top of a logo the visual identity framework, where you start introducing colors and textures and patterns and icons and backgrounds, you really can start to explore and to tell a story with your logo. So feel free to reach out. If your logo does not have any meaning, it doesn't have purpose, it isn't something that you can look into and see yourself in it, or your customers, or the aspirational thing that your company is going to achieve, we can certainly help you with that as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. There will be more to come.